Hey, this is Steve at Real Time Music, and today we're going to look at some advanced tempo editing techniques. I'll assume that you've already watched the basic tempo editing video, and I can put a link in the comments to that if you have not. But now we're going to look at something a bit more tricky. So let's say that you have a repeat. These two bars right here, this blue box is a repeat. And so it's going to play through, and then it's going to repeat once. So it's going to play, it's going to circle back, play again, and then move forward. Meanwhile, this is a vamp, which is infinite. You vamp until the band's ready to go, and then you move forward. Now, what if you wanted to speed up or slow down in the middle of a repeat or vamp? So let's go ahead and change the view filter over here to tempo. And we can see that we have just one tempo event at the top of the song. Dotted quarter equals 130. As I said in the other video, you can easily drag this up and down. You cannot delete it because it's the first tempo event in the song. You need a tempo event at measure 1, beat 1, tick 0, like right there at the beginning. So we can't delete it, but we can go ahead and we'll just leave that for now. We have a repeat, and we can see that we have just a kind of visual representation of the repeat there, starting at measure 5, going through measure 7. And what if we wanted to, the first lap of the repeat, keep it at the same tempo that we're at right now, and then for the second lap, speed up? That's where, up here, we have, this shows us what lap we're editing right now. So right now we're looking at repeat 0. So the first time we're going through. Let's go ahead and change this to repeat 1. And we can see that the repeat 0, which is 120, is grayed out. We can't move it. We can't do anything with it. It is inoperable right now, and that's totally fine. We want it locked in place while we mess with this. So let's say that we wanted our tempo to just gradually go up on the second time around. So we'd go ahead and hold P for pencil on your typing keyboard and draw a line. And now we can see that on the first time through, it'll stay at 120. And then as soon as we go back and repeat, it's going to climb. Let's go ahead and watch that. I'm going to go ahead and open up the tempo window so we can watch the tempo readout as we do it. I'm going to go back to performance mode as well. I'm going to hit this to reset the song. And as you can see, now we're not seeing those tempo events because we're looking at repeat 0 and not repeat 1. Let's go ahead and hit play and listen. So as you can see, we successfully hit the tempo event and then kept at that tempo. Now, what if we wanted to slow it back down after this repeat? We could then go back to edit mode. See, this is around 164. As you can see, when you hold P and you move around, you get a readout of the tempo that you're looking at. So we'll go about 164, and we can come back down. And I made a little mistake there. I'll just go ahead and delete that. So now let's go ahead and reset the tune, play again. We're at about 120. See, it goes right back down, and now we're into a vamp. Vamps are infinite. It's as many repeats as you may want, but we need to tell Sinfonia how many times we want it to repeat. Let's go ahead and change this back to navigation. So right now it's only seeing repeat 0 and 1, which is being provided by this. Let's go ahead and if you were under these circumstances where you wanted this vamp to repeat a fixed number of times. Let's say you want it to play 4 times, and on that 4th time you want it to start speeding up or slowing down. What we could do is go ahead and put 3 here. So that means it's going to play the first time, and then it's going to repeat 3 more times. Now, let's go ahead and go back to tempo view. You can click the tempo window or click the view filter here. And now we can see we have repeats 0, 1, 2, and 3. This guy, your first repeat, only repeats twice. But this is going to play a total of 4 times. So let's go ahead and on the 3rd repeat, draw in some data. And let's go ahead and reset the song and play and watch. So we're at 121 right now. Okay. Now we're slowing back down. Now we're staying at this kind of slow tempo here. It's going to continue to do that. And now here comes the last repeat, and there is that data. Okay, and that is how you deal with tempo changes within a repeat or vamp. One other thing we'll cover in this video is you can record tempo. Let's say I'm going to go ahead and open the rhythm window up so we can look at the rhythmic values that we're supposed to be using. So we know how to draw in tempo data, but what if you wanted to play in tempo data? What we do is we're in edit mode. We have the timeline window open. We got the rhythm window open. And now here in the tempo window, there's this triangle here. And you're going to go ahead and click it to turn on tempo recording. And now we're going to tap either the space bar or if you have your MIDI keyboard set up, you can now tap the tempo and it's going to record your movements. As soon as you hit stop, either on the musical keyboard or here in the transport, tempo editing will cease. So I'm going to go ahead and tap. I'm kind of just doing it haphazardly to show you the extremes. Stop. And if we rewind, we can see that is our tempo data. And just like the stuff we drew in earlier, you can click and drag and kind of encompass all that and hit delete. As with any of the edits you make in Sinfonia, as soon as you are satisfied, file, save, and go back to performance mode.